Which one was it? Come on. Damn it. So, two blues have FCS, the other one has Tactician as his crewman. Huh. And that one is number 1. So where does he put him? Blue 2, blue 3, blue 1. So Corn goes opposite corner. Guess he would probably do that. I'm guessing because he kind of wants to make the Ties break up their formation, although they're spread out, whereas he's in a tighter formation than them. But he also probably wants to try to suck Whisper into those asteroids. In my experience, I've ran Whisper a fair amount. My experience is you want to get him in as most open space as you possibly can, because not only does it give him room for all 3 of his D-cloaks, but it also gives him more options for his dial as well, and that's what I found. So usually when I run Whisper, I just put my asteroids in the corners, and obviously he didn't do that here because there's only 1 there. So he's going to have a bit of a hard time if he gets sucked into that. I don't think he's going to try to make Whisper. I think he's probably going to try to keep Whisper hovering on the outside, like most guys are apt to do, because you don't want him to get teed off on a range 1 shot. You want to keep him out at range 3 as much as possible, but it's going to be interesting. You don't see the, I just call it the straight arc squads, because you don't have any 360. With the way the meta is, with Soontir and Whisper being so popular, usually these squads have kind of fallen by the wayside. You still see them a lot. I would say maybe 25 to 30% of the squads still run these, where they don't have, I'm talking where they have a pilot that's lower than 9, and then it's just nothing but straight arcs, no 360. Maybe 25, 30% of the squads in this tournament are running something like that. But he does have those fire control systems, so that kind of supplements that, because if you're getting that, if they get a shot on Whisper, even if they miss, if they can get a shot at any other point, if they keep that lock on there and focus, a focus target lock 3 attack is just about as good as getting like a 4 just focus attack. Just about, not quite as good, but pretty close, I'd say. And then he's got that Tactician too, which there was a discussion on Reddit a few days ago about putting the flechette torpedoes on Nira and what that would do to Whisper, because you think, okay, Whisper's going to shoot, then he's going to cloak, then he gets shot at by flechette and stress. So what does that really do? Well, not much. But if you think about it, most guys who run Whisper, usually they're going to move and then do a 1 left turn, because that's just kind of the safest thing to do. That's not green for Whisper. Only the 2 straight and 2 bank, and then the 3 straight. Those are the only greens for Whisper, and you don't see those very often. Maybe on the first turn you'll see that, but usually it's just that one turn that he's going to do. So it does have an effect, I would say. So the blue 1 is right there in the middle front. Kind of surprised he'd put him out in the front, but I guess he wants to get him at range 2, maybe on the first shot, so that would maybe be an effect. But this is his best chance against Whisper. But it's going to be hard to get a range 2 shot on Whisper when he's so freaking agile, maneuverable, and he's going to move last. The other squads So Corrin's got this, and I think he just felt like he didn't want to have to run this against that potential Whisper mini swarm, which I agree with. And then again, that dash is kind of suited to take out a Whisper, but the rest of his squad I think he feels like would just have struggled against the mini swarm. And then conversely, Shazbot, his other one, was Vesseray, Echo, and Backstabber. And I think he, conversely, was worried about Corrin's other squad. I don't think he would have been comfortable running this against it, because Dash could have fucked up Vesseray and Echo, and Backstabber something fierce. Like, Backstabber potentially could have just got one shot on the first turn, which would have been brutal for him. So it's kind of interesting when you see these multiple list tournaments. It's not necessarily a squad you want to run. It's a squad that you're fearful what your opponent's going to run, so you decide to run that instead. So he decides to go left. Corrin does. Guess he feels like his squad, the ships are a little bit slower than the ties. So we're going to do that little ring around the rosy. I guess he felt like the ties might have been able to catch him from behind and put him in a bad spot, so he just wants to meet him head on. Which is a good move. I'm a little surprised he just didn't set up for the joust, though. When, I mean, you've got to think he's got a little more firepower than... I mean, you got Whisper, but all his academies really don't dish out damage, as opposed to these B-Wings with those FCSs are just heavy, heavy hitters. And if you feel like you can play the rule of 11 pretty well, I think if it was me, I would have just set up for the joust. Of course, I don't like to dick around very much, but this is kind of setting up nice for him, though, now, because he's got... These academies are trailing hard. Like, what are they even going to do? They got a bank, I would think. I think you're going to see him go ahead, probably 3 forward. Try to close that distance before these back guys can catch up. Alright. I'll go check on this. It's probably wrapping up right about now. Let's see what's going on. I think it's over. Yep, they're talking about it. Yeah. But he didn't get it that round. Or did he lose? There's no way he could have lost. What happened? No one say anything. They're all still here. The only reason I vetoed down to 2 is because I figured Immunity Failure was my only real chance too. I totally agree with that he had to probably go for a little something, but it's not worth losing 2 hold for just 1 shield. So I didn't like that first Vader. I had no problem with it the second time, but I don't think he should have done it the first time. Alright. Synchronize. Oh. And yeah, he slows it down a bit with the ties. And try to let those guys in the rear catch up. So wonder what he's gonna do with Whisper. Because if he tries to go for the flank now, it's going to be going right into those asteroids. Maybe that was what Corrin was going for. Is that now the academies have to joust, and either Whisper is going to go right into his arc, or he's going to have to get into those asteroids where you don't want to be with a Phantom, because you not only have limited decloak options, but even if you do have a chance to decloak, then you run the risk of landing on an asteroid with your movement, which is just complete death for any Phantom. And he only goes forward 2, huh? Guess he kind of wanted to wait it out one more. Well, we're probably going to get shots next turn, I would imagine. I still think I would have gone forward 3, but... Because now if he banks, his bees are going to kind of be staring that asteroid down. Anyone watching, I can't check my stream because it echoes, but I'm on Reddit, Blair Bunky. If you want to send me a message or something, any comment you want to make, go ahead and go for it. Whisper's decloaking forward. He's doing a 3 right bank, so he's going into those asteroids. He's going to recloak. So that's it for this turn. Probably going to be looking at a right decloak. Or you could go forward and do a hard right turn. But I don't know, he might not have a shot if he did that. So, these are always the crucial turns. Something I learned the hard way playing. And when you run these squads, these straight arc squads I call them. So now what do you do? Do you turn into the flanker and try to go at him while you have a bunch... You have your most firepower available to you now. After this turn, you're going to start losing ships, and you're not going to have as many shots as you will later on. But if you do that, if you do a 2 right turn, you know, if Whisper's doing a 1 right turn, he's just going to not decloak and then just right turn. And now these academies are going to be shooting at you. So... it's a really tough decision. I think I'd just go for the academies if it was me.